freaking love you, Jordan. On a day like today, football wins, ladies and gentlemen. This is a monumental day in Serie A history. After just about getting on the plane, he turns back and he says, I'm not staying. Paulo Dybala will be a Roma player for at least another year. I'm over the moon. Why? Because my favorite player is sticking around. And we get to watch him and enjoy La Gioia just a little bit more, and hope and dream and all those beautiful things that come along with a player like this. But today did not start out like this. No, it did not. And I think that immediately we should get into what happened earlier at Trigoria. Let's blow this up, make it nice for you to look at. Shift 6, let's change this. We're going to get to exactly what happened at Trigoria as he was leaving.
Lavatevi i piedi da sotto le macchine, che se famo male. Apri là davanti.
Paolo, dalla che c'è stanno i ragazzini. La maglia. Oh, la maglia.
So that's the first one. Now let's look at this other one from Forza Roma.
Paolo, dalla che c'è stanno i ragazzini. La maglia.
Che se famo male.
So you could see absolutely mobbed by the fans. They adore him. They're giving him mementos, things for him to keep, not just for things that they want signed for their kids and photos, all that stuff. But actually like making nice gifts for him and things for him to keep. Like, this is what Roma is. This is why Roma fans are the best in the world. And I'm sorry if you're here and you support another club, but it has to be acknowledged that these fans are sensational. Like, for them, not to just criticize and like, yeah, on social media you see crazy stuff, but to actually like show up for a few days now and like be like, Paul, I love you, and like you're the man, you're the king of Rome at this time, you are the leader of this team, and to really make him feel like that, surely 100% play a factor in it. But I also want to go through kind of like that timeline. And my buddy Enzo, Pure Romanista, has that here from Di Marzio. Let's go over it. Private jet ready from yesterday to bring him to Saudi Arabia. They even wanted him to play the match tomorrow, which was true. Dybala was going to be playing in 12 hours from now. He rejected the first offer on August 7th. Wasn't convinced by the move to Saudi until he was benched this past Sunday against Cagliari. Then he decided to accept the offer yesterday. Supposedly it started at 60 million euros over 3 years and then got bumped all the way up to 75. Can you imagine 75 million euros and then denying that move? That's like crazy money. I do think that with money you get to a certain point where it's like, you have one jet ski. How many do you need? You have one yacht. Like, it doesn't really matter to a point, but it is generational type income where this would really affect, like, not just his family, but his grandkids. You know what I'm trying to say? So this is a major move on many different fronts. Okay, back to the storyline. On Cagliari, yeah, he was benched. And that led to rumors that De Rossi didn't see him as a starter because of the 4-3-3, and does he fit? And, he has a small personality because, look, he just wants to get out. When it got tough for him to become a set starter. A lot of these narratives got pushed. A lot of them just weren't true. You don't know. Like, these things just get passed around online. But unless the player says, unless there's some clarity from the coach, none of us really know. It's just speculation. He already bid farewell to his teammates, said goodbye to Bove, Paredes, and Soulé. Don't forget that. He did play a big role in bringing Soulé to the club. Him and Paredes, they go way back. They're boys on the national team. And I also think that part of Dybala's thinking was like, Scaloni hasn't called me up 2 times in a row now. I turned 31 on November 15th. Maybe this is it. Like, maybe this is down. But the truth is, it's not his down. He's still in his prime. Does he get injured? Yeah, of course. That's one big reason why Dybala is at Roma, is when he was a free agent, not too many top-tier clubs lined up for him. It wasn't because of Mourinho. It wasn't anything like that. When he left Trigoria this morning, he took his boots with him. He didn't partake in a photo shoot for the league because at this point he was certain he was leaving. no part in it. If you look at even Roma's photo shoots of their training gear, of their jersey, Dybala is not at the center of it. That's very strange compared to a year or two ago, right? Everything's Dybala, Dybala, Dybala. He even has his own T-shirt line, and we'll see what happens now, because I think this has made him so much more marketable in the long run. At least marketing people, they should wake up and see, like, dude, this is an OG right now. Then in the afternoon, he further reflected on the move with his family and his agent. He has a new agent, by the way. After the love he received from the fans and his companions, as we saw, he decides he wants to stay in Rome. His wife and mother were never fully convinced about a move to Saudi. So this is crazy, the fact that this could be a decision which came down to like the very end and was influenced by mom. Mom being like, I don't think you should go. And of course his wife, right? Ultimately it comes down to your wife once you're married. That's numero uno. But look, Saudi Arabia, he didn't want to move there. His wife didn't want to move there. His mom didn't. This is not exactly a country with a great track record for women's rights and for happiness, let's be honest, comparing it to the place where a country which has the best quality of life. I'm 34. Dybala's turning 31. Like, there's a point where you're just, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I want to be happy. You're still young, and you know it's not infinite. Maybe later in 2 years, Dybala does go there. Maybe he goes to Real Madrid. I don't know. But if he does leave Roma, ultimately, I want to see him go to a club like that. I want to see him win the Champions League. If it's not going to be with Roma, let it be with somebody really great, a top-tier club, a top-5 club in the world. So we've established the timeline so far. This is what we know. And I'm sure that in the next couple days, there's going to be some novations. There's going to be new information that comes out. Paulo Dybala is going to speak himself, aside from what he released today on Instagram, kind of like a subtle, I'll see you on Sunday type of post. That match against Empoli is now going to be a horse of a different color. It's very exciting. So we think back to what the past couple weeks have been like when this rumor, actually just a week. So this week has been an absolute whirlwind. But with Dybala possibly leaving and all these other different scenarios, does it affect the Mercato? Now that his salary is still going to be on the books, is this somebody that is going to stop other players from coming in? That's something to consider. Roma were linked with Danso today, Kevin Danso, Austrian 25-year-old center back. This is a really good player. Does he affect that? Does he affect Riquelme, possibly joining from Atletico Madrid? Or is it Kone? And I wrote on Football Italia, I'm going to post a link in the comments, the story. Dybala, yeah, he's going to have a big wage. He's not the problem, guys. The issue is other earners, players who are on major contracts, who are typically just on the bench at the most, and they're absorbing massive amounts of fees, whether it's 2 million or 5 million. Players, look, such as Abraham, he's got to move out. Roma already has their new number 9. He's not going to stick around. What what Abraham would bring in would be massive. 30, 35 off the books that you get in, plus his salary. Roma could really regenerate with that. All other players, at least they just got rid of Sobak, and Shomurodov is still hanging around. There's other starters out there too. We'll see what happens with Bove, because that is tied to Kone. I think Kone is a different class of player. I think he's exceptional at Borussia Mönchengladbach. French, not international. He was on the Olympic team. Not international, not capped yet, because France is just so deep. But yeah, he wasn't the problem. It's maneuvering these other guys who are just feeding off of the club's teat, the wolf's teat. I know that's a really weird thing to say, but I'm just envisioning the club's logo. I won't repeat that, don't worry. But we've got this tweet here. I couldn't believe it. It was shock. And I got on, I did a little clip. Immediately as it happened, I'm staring at the ocean, holding my son, just like staring blankly. And I read this news out of nowhere, and I'm sure it was very similar to you. Like, this is just the craziest thing ever. Richard Whittle reached out to me, former announcer. He's a great guy. And even on Sky Sports, they were reporting it. No, that's where I was. I was like, how are you delayed in not hearing this? So that's what was going on. This is some really crazy stuff. But not believing it, there's also some other really great signs and like banners going around. I really want to see this at the Stadio Olimpico come this week. I suggested it to Roma Club New York that maybe we should have our own striscione, our own banner. That would be really cool for Paolo. Also, check out that tweet I just scrolled past. It's a Wolf of Wall Street edit. I don't want to post it for any copyright stuff. But I guess I'll end on this. If you need some pro tips for pasta, also check my Twitter page. Got some secrets there. And this is a leading question for the next episode. We don't have time today, but take a look at that number you see on your screen. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up. Oh, numero 10. Paulo Dybala. Can you hear it screamed throughout the Stadio Olimpico? That would be crazy. Guys, we'll talk soon. Let me know what you think. Ciao.